Welcome back, and you're still watching Spotlight with Mercy on Kaftan Television. Well, still talking about the Ondo State governorship election. Are there lessons to learn from it? Of course, there are. And with me this evening in the studio is Musa Mujahid Zaitawa, who is the coordinator Northern Youth Major Group. You're highly welcome, and it's great to have you this evening.
Thank you very much.
Well, let me start by asking you, what is your perspective, or what do you make out of the just concluded governorship election that took place in Ondo State just about 48 hours ago?
So the issue of election in Southwest is something that all Nigerians must be understanding. It is about 2027 election.
It's about 2027 election. Yeah. Okay, so it's like a warm-up ahead of the 2027 election.
It started with Edo in South. When the APC win election in Edo State, you know, the power hustlers, the power godfathers of the South, under the leadership of PDP, they have already made effort to see they win election in Edo. And after the election of Edo, PDP starts going backward. And they target and plan for Ondo. And when the APC designed its own electoral policy, we nominated the most powerful candidates in the state, Aiyedatiwa, because he's a man of people and everybody aware he's a good man. He already left a legacy that we are not going to have any difficulties, and that is what we calculated, and that is exactly what happened. No loss of lives, no protest. We win election in Ondo successfully in less than 24 hours. So if there is any capacity of PDP in Southwest, Ondo will be the planning game of PDP. And from there, you know, everything in Nigeria is about politics. Every day, the merger between the North and Southwest is getting very strong. That's why the PDP now return back looking for how they are going to mobilize their own policy in North-West. And you see, in the history of politics, it's not an accidental opportunity. You must do your homework and calculate where you have a problem and get the final solution. That was exactly what happened in Ondo. We expect it will happen, and it happened.
Okay, so already before the election, you already have an idea of what the outcome is going to look like. You are confident enough that Aiyedatiwa was going to.
The real calculation of 75% of my confidence is Southwest belongs to APC. Okay. That's the truth of the matter.
But then when you say, I want you to make it clear when you said is about the 2027 election. Yeah. So in a way, are you saying APC is trying to make make it like a one party
system? I know that is where the accusation came from.
It's not an accusation. I'm just asking. Because when you look at it,
a good example. Let me give you. Most of the PDP, like Zamfara State, has run the local government election the same day with Ondo. In Northwest, even single councillor never allow any party to win in Zamfara. They all sharps local government and councillorship in Zamfara State. So if the state will decide to cast vote for one party system, that means APC, when the election of 2024 started, we give alternative to other states, including Kano, Zamfara, owns by PDP, Kano by NMPP. We are not in anarchy. We are always taking direction in true Democrat. So that's why we give opportunity to new parties like PDP, NNPP in Kano State, and Zamfara also. So if, assuming we plan for one party system, we cannot allow other parties to win in some states from the six
but then anyway, our viewers at this point, our phone lines are now open for you to join the conversation or give us your thoughts. But then is it now about a particular party owning a state or making it like a one party system for a state, or it's about people's choices?
The governors in all remaining opposition parties, that are the governors' plan for. Because
if it's going to look like if political parties are going to make it look like
national politics, because we are the mother, we are the party that win election of the president and a lot of governors. So we give chance, we give doors to other opposition to rule other states, because we are not looking for how we are going to control one party system in Nigeria. APC is not like that, because the history of 2015 clearly indicated that Southwest produced 6 states. Northern Nigeria produced only 4 states. ANPP has 3 states from Zamfara, Yobe, and Borno. CPC produced 1 state, Nasarawa. That is where my organization merger started. So new PDP came with 5 governors. That is where we combined to merge to form a government, national government. So we are always respecting the policy of national unity. That is APC. Because the main definition of progressive started from the merger, where the like-minded people come together and think how to find Nigerian solution for the common man. So that is my own understanding about the leadership of APC became the most powerful party in Africa, also in Nigeria.
All right, I really love the fact that you made mention that all the elections that are going on now is in preparation and ahead of 2027. So, yes. But then looking at the economic looking at the current economic crisis of Nigeria, do you think APC will retain power come 2027? Are you confident about that?
Let me tell you something. I always try to advise Nigerians support much before APC under the past government of PDP founded in 1999.
How does
Obasanjo became the president of national unity under the platform of PDP. Under his government, Obasanjo privatized Nigerian power, Nigerian transportation, Nigerian aviation. Those 3 major economic sectors are the control of our control of government. And that from that time up to date, Obasanjo is the cause of hardship that inherited by other leaders rule Nigeria. And I was expecting Obasanjo to come and look apology from Nigerians, because he designed the hardship. Exactly? He designed the hardship that we find ourselves. Because Nigerian assets were being privatized, and nobody, and I'm challenging Nigeria, nobody will tell you where Obasanjo invested the money he privatized Nigerian asset. Where does he take the money? Where does he deposit the money? Nobody will come and tell you. And secondly, Obasanjo payable for his own personal interest, witch hunt politician by corruption. He is the first ever history president that were being captured when late Galina Abba was a speaker. Obasanjo sent the money in Ghana, Moscow. Everybody are aware, everybody know what happened. He witch hunt Gali na Abba until his death. Never allow Gali to become even a councillor, because he became the hero in northern Nigeria. Him and present Deputy Senate President Gali Barrow Jibril. On that time, Barrow was a member of the House of Representatives. Also from Kano, he used Konkoso, not allow them to win primary election in PDP. So that was the essence of fight. He went to Kano, which hunt former leader of Sansi, later Muhammad Abubakarini. He which hunt Musa Gorebe. All when they found at that time, after the military handover to civilian, in Hausa we call it Akoru Soja. That is where the opposition, former NPN leaders, former PRP leaders, when the one that Mala Amina Kano is hidden, and ANC, he always hunt them, withdraw them, promote Congress to become his successor. He designed him, but at the end of the day, look at what happened. When he planned Peter Obi to merge with Konkoso to form a government, God showed him God is God. Separate them. Konkoso was feeling high. Obi was feeling high. At the end, they never made any consensus. But APC always looking for a solution how to resolve the political crisis in Nigeria, including the inherit of insecurity, the design of insurgency, designed by PDP. And people will remember when former NSA led Andres Azazi claimed PDP a major hide agenda of Boko Haram. At the end of the day, APC took over from PDP. What do we find? From insurgency to insecurity. The plant is just politically motivated matters because they want to scare Nigeria. At the end, when the PDP, look at how Tinubu fight with Obasanjo when he blocked account of local government for 8 years, when Tinubu was a governor of Lagos, with a little amount of revenue generating in Lagos, Tinubu built Lagos to be where it is now. And those issues now, Obasanjo and his crew went to Kano for the wedding daughters of Konkoso, want to settle Atiku and Konkoso for the political calculation of 2027. We are looking at this is Tinubu game. Everything happened from the past. Say Tinubu, it's a Tinubu game. Look at how this issue of insecurity invited French country came to Nigeria, to Northwest, attack some villages. The organization of those insecurity called Lokorawa. All they are planning from Mali, Togo, and Niger. At the moment, immediately, the NSA got information, colluded, and merged to form a meeting with service chiefs. At the end of the day, in just a week, it has become a history. Because it's a political agenda. We don't know those politicians. How is they want Nigeria to support, especially northern Nigeria.
How is it a political agenda? Because according to reports, it's said that the Lukrawas has been around for 6 years.
No. Let me tell you the history. The history of Lukrawa has a relation with Metasini. Metasini came to Kano, northern Nigeria, for since 1980. The same people are changing names. They change the system from.
So what has been the first name, or what was the first name they bear?
Metasini.
Yes,
okay. They all destabilize northern Nigeria. Every state in the north take fire during that time. That was 1980. Maybe you are not alive. But after 30 years, they bring back Boko Haram in the northeast. The same Metasini changed the pattern in 30 years to Boko Haram. 30 years, Boko Haram started 2010. you see the distance between 1980 to 2010 is almost 30 years to 40. So from that issue, in 10 years, that was 2020, they changed into Fulani bandits. They based in the village bushes, captured, killing farmers, killing Fulani rustlers, and take over the cows, taken out of the country. At the end, when our military destroyed the bandit in the bushes, did you ever, for the first 6 months, did you ever heard about how Fulani are taking video to social media, prouding themselves that they are bandits with money, that they arrest people, capture people, and take it from them? So it's a victory to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but because of politics, everything happened in Nigeria. They will claim to say Tinubu, but it's a Tinubu game. Okay, we believe things will go down by the grace of God, because whatever goes off must come down. The history of politics started from 1980. The North, now we have a serious challenges because of our leaders in the North, especially the governors, are not interested to have the North. Everyone among them who have been elected will come looking for how to become rich, how to reach his family, how to reach himself. So that is where, because I have a good example that I want to tell Nigerians, we have the highest local government in Nigeria. We have the richest, even the richest man in Africa is from Northwest in Kano. The second richest is from Northwest in Kano. The third richest is from Kano. Why the poverty is 90%? Let us ask ourselves. It's a political agenda.
Okay, it's a
because we have the highest governor. Even Abuja was North. It's not a South. Abuja is North. We have 19 states, including Abuja, 20 states. Why are we living in poverty? Why don't combine themselves? The leaders will combine themselves, sit down, look for the solution. Let me give you something. Since amalgamation of 1914, Yoruba came with a political leadership, and they achieved economic. Most of banking system is in the hand of Yoruba. But why the North is in poverty? Who are the richest people? Do we have a banks in the North? We don't have. Only Southwest have the bank. Where are the major market? It's Igbo land. Igbo intercept coming to Kano, taking over the business because they invested in the business. But our Northerners taking the investment from North to South.
Well, I think
that is why the essence of poverty is too much.
Well, I think that
the issue of the calculation is they want the North to go out of voting Tinubu. That is what they are planning, to adding more poverty in the North, because the people will cry to say it's Tinubu and it's not a game. It's a game. We will checkmate them.
All right, then I think we'll have to that will have to be a discussion for another day. So let's not deviate from the topic of the day. But then I want to understand. What do you think Aiyedatiwa win means to the people of Ondo State?
By the grace of God, we have 3 challenges in Nigeria. It is not all about one state will be out of the game. Poverty, the major. Education, second. The third one is inflation. We wish Aiyedatiwa will make his effort to see that the half of Ondo people that vote for him will get soon the dividend of democracy by the grace of God. And I wish him the best of his leadership according to his record, where he achieved a lot of goals in different leadership he was already been.
Okay, then let's talk about the controversies surrounding the INEC conduct. Well, there has not been so much positive, conversations around that axis. It has been alleged that so far there is a vote buying. There was vote buying, and the excuses of INEC coming up with beavers not working correctly. A lot of allegation on that perspective. From the opposition. It wasn't. It's not just from the opposition. It's not just about the oppositions. It's about Nigerians. And again, in addition to that, the former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, has called for the reshuffle of INEC officials and INEC leadership, or saying that there is need to sanitize the INEC leadership for Nigerians to be able to conduct credible elections. So in other words, he's saying that the elections so far, which we've seen in recent times, you cannot say they are credible enough. So what is your perspective around that?
But Mercy, let us tell ourselves the truth. We have witnessed the election happen in America, United States of America. In every election, there must be a loser and there must be a winner.
Oh, certainly, of course.
And if the winner has won, the opposition in Nigeria, even if they have one vote, they will claim that there is manipulation, there is this corruption, this and this. For me, INEC did a good job, because if you look at how the election started, if the people are not interested of electing Aiyedatiwa, definitely there must be a crisis. There must be a protest.
But I want to understand, would you have still said that INEC did a good job if the reverse was the case? If the win was
challenge, every government came, every government on board, Obasanjo must challenge it. That is his nature. But we believe because of
but let's look at the general conversation around INEC.
Know where the Nigerian now driving to the forward. That is why every government, when he came, he became an opposition. Even if his son became the president, Obasanjo will challenge him. That is his nature. He won't always people to say he is on top, and that's not going to happen.
Let's put Obasanjo on the side. Let's look at the general conversation around INEC. It's not just that of Obasanjo out there. People, Nigerians. I made reference.
He is always an opposition.
I only made a reference, but before then, there've been conversations around and some allegations around INEC leadership and the manner which they've conducted the past elections. So I want to get your perspective. I want you to leave Obasanjo out of this now, but in general, what is your perspective around the allegations surrounding the conduct of INEC leadership and in the manner they've conducted the recent elections?
But after Obasanjo, no one that I ever heard he was complaining.
Well, we saw there was a video on the internet circulating where some group of people say we've been giving money and
Mercy, we look at what happened for the first only 2 weeks for the issue of these minors come arrested during the protest of end bad governance. In Kano, the governor of Kano State, Abakabir Yusuf, arrested those children and hand over them to state police. From there, the prosecutors took them to Abuja. But at the end, Konkoso went to Byron and claimed Tinubu arrest those children. All the virus in Nigeria, Atiku talk about it, they politicize the matter. Single-handed, I took myself to Kuji. Go and find out what the allegation is not true. I took food, took clothes, items to the children, and I made a press release in the prison, Kuji, lobbying to President Tinubu to pardon those children in less than 32 hours. The president pardoned those children. On Sunday, on Monday, they have been taken to court and free of them. So I take the credit. Do I came to the Byron and claim something out of this? I just use my opportunity that I have to look how to solve the problem of the masses, the common mass. When I sponsor the bill of raping, who talk about me? When I sponsor the bill of drug abuse, I single-hand took the former Senate President Bukola Saraki when he was in the 8th Senate to Kano with 48 senators, made a roundtable discussion in Bristol Hotel on October 13th. On that very day, the government, Kano State government, closed over 47 illegal factories in Kano. I spent 8 years propagating, rounding from 6 geopolitical zones, lobbying the senators about the issue of drug abuse. Now I thank God, it has become, the bill became asset. the illegal producers, the factories are now for life imprisonment. I win the battle. But I'm proud because I realize 75% of our northern youth are drug addicted. And the easiest making money is drugs. That is why you see a lot of people are involved into the drugs. So the problem of Nigeria is not started today and it will never end today. But what we believe, if every government came, we will advise the government to see how to resolve issue of security, insecurity, issue of poverty, issue of schools, drop out schools, because the security, the most of the bandits and terrorists are using the chance of poverty, recruiting the children in terrorism, including the bandits. So the problem of Nigeria, we must hold our hands together to protect. Not everything government has the capacity to say that they are going to solve the matters of the Nigerians, because the population is very high, and every time the inflation, I realize most of the richest are richer than the country, but they are not making effort to see how to resolve the poverty in Nigeria, more especially in the north, because we have traditional rulers, we have elites, we have academicians, we have politicians, we have richest market people, but what are they contributing to the society? What they believe to build beautiful houses, buy aeroplanes, rounding all the world, and prouding themselves, they are rich, but they are not contributing to the society. It is not all about Tinubu. It is not about every government camp will face this challenge. All
right then. So let's look at in your own view.
Yeah.
Looking at the recent election that has been conducted in recent time, do you think in any way that the INEC officials or the INEC leadership needs to be sanitized or reshuffled?
Definitely, in every egg, there must be a bad egg. Every beans, you must have the one that is bad.
Alright, let me even put it. Do you think in the last few elections, INEC has conducted credible elections so far?
So, since there is no complaint, the complaint is from opposition, not from the masses. That's why I say that, to me, when I monitored how the election and the result coming from, I already saluted the INEC, because they made a good job, the way that Nigerian will believe in everywhere. You see, here is a problem here and there, but you can't say that you are going to conduct election 100%, more especially in Africa, especially in Nigeria. I hope you understand. But what I believe, Ondo is a stronghold of APC in Southwest. It is going to be very difficult. No way PDP will take over Ondo.
Okay, so what's the possibility or what's the realities around the fact that the governor-elect Aiyedatiwa won the 18 local government areas? What's the reality to you? Is that true? Does it look realistic?
Yes.
It looks realistic.
Yes, to me it's realistic.
To have won all the 18 local governments.
There must be some problems. I'm telling you, in every election, even in America, we are following American presidential system. We used to copy from America. So even in America,
but if we must copy everything from the Western world, why not copy other aspects when it comes to infrastructure, development, eradication of poverty, education, and the rest of it? Why must it be copying just the electoral system of the Western world? How about what about development?
You know, America has a electoral college. They are the deciding election, not the masses. Let me tell you, everybody knows.
The masses doesn't decide their election.
They're not deciding. The elites deciding, that electoral college are the one deciding who will be the American president.
Don't you think the something has almost the how will I say?
It's not everything.
It's almost the same.
It's not.
Rather, it's.
You have to be aware. It's not everything we are copying from America. Our own policy, we combine. Yes, the presidential system. We follow the presidential, but not everything in America we copy. We just copy some, not all.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, so why haven't we copied their, level of the development, infrastructure, eradication of poverty and education? Why must it be the political system? Why must it be the political system?
There's a problem happening between our former leaders, where the government will provide essential need to common man. It is based on the incomes of the government, and all the incomes generated. Our previous leaders has already privatized those sectors. That is where Obasanjo became on board as the victim of all this hardship caused by his leadership when he was a president during 1999 to 2007.
I want to do something right. I think you've repeated the government privatizing some sectors.
Okay, Nigerian acid.
Yeah, but all Nigerian acid. But then
to Nigeria is now.
But then, what happens to the? I don't want us to deviate from the topic. But then, what happens to the oil sector? What happens to our refineries? If you think the government shouldn't or is not good enough to privatize,
it is
the one that they haven't privatized.
Let me tell you,
how well have they done in that aspect?
Those history, it has to give us 1 hour to solve this matter, because the
exactly,
issue of NNPC. Let me tell you, Western countries invested into oil and gas in Nigeria. Even if I told you the history of this AKK, European NATO invested $13 billion in AKK pipeline by transporting gas from northern Nigeria to Europe, and those project is on board. And secondly, even NNPC were being part of the shares of government were being privatized for next 10 years.
Okay.
That the crude oil exportation is going to, but in the history of this time around, it's only during Tinubu government we are producing 1.7 million barrels per day. This is a wonderful achievement under the leadership of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Right. Because it is the only way, when we are getting that target, we are going to have enough money.
My sincere apology. I'll have to hold you there, but let's hear from this caller. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us on the show. Your name and where you're calling us from. Oh, we lost that caller. Sorry. Please round up with what you're saying. I have a few more questions for you before we wrap up.
Go ahead.
Okay, then you are the coordinator of the Arewa Youth Major Group, and there's been this allegation of from Kwankwaso concerning the president of colonizing the north, the Lagos or north. But
he did it in the wrong time. This comment, there was a time Kwankwaso claimed to say that APC is initiating new version of Boko Haram. We took him to court to prove. He has no proof. At that time, he became shame. All Nigeria are laughing to him. So how can you imagine to look at the minister of the National Party chairman is from Kano, Northwest. The deputy senate president is from Kano. The chairman of appropriation is from Kano. State minister of housing was from Kano. State minister of federal capital territory was from Kano. We from Kano have over 20 appointments. Even the special advisor on National Assembly matters, Senator Bashir Lado, was from Kano. But how dear, it is a frustration. Concourse is frustrated because the day that he already organized his wedding, a shameful things happened to him because all Poma, no present elected politician attended the wedding. It's Poma.
Attended which wedding?
His daughter's wedding.
Only poor men attended.
Only Poma leaders. He was already organized that wedding for his political interest. That is where Tinubu, Obasanjo attended, Atiku attended. So all Poma, vice president, whatsoever. So he was frustrated because his accusation came in the wrong time. And we always checkmate him because the deputy senate president, Senator Barrow Jibril, now his light is brighter. All his people from NNPP, he disappointed them, combating to APC through Senator Barrow Jibril. So we have already checkmated him. Let me tell you, the shameful thing now, his minority leader, Ali Madaki, was already left Konkosia. His senator, Kawusimela, on his way back. We are expecting him by any moment. All the Senate members
expecting him back to APC.
To APC. APC is getting strong in Kano. The same way APC is getting strong in Southwest, it is going to be getting strong in Northwest because the speaker was from Northwest. Is he blind? He was sleeping the time that he made this accusation, because I made a press release and I checked the press release to the NSA and I checked my complaint.
I saw that you called for the arrest
of Konkoso because he want to create crisis, because most of our northerners are living in Lagos. It has a history. During the cola nut trade, that coal Gwanja, so 25% of our northern people, especially Kano State, taking travel to Lagos, living there. When you go into Lagos, Agege owns by Hausa people. Agege owns by Hausa people. Kwakwa Oku owns by Hausa people. Alagwado owns by 75% of the population there are Hausa people. Why is he always create unnecessary that those community leaders for Yoruba will fight against our Hausa people? Because he was saying that Lagos trying to manipulate northern Nigeria, especially Kano. It is about the issue of leader Emir Tussles. They want by force back Sunusi Lamine Sunusi into the crown of Emir of Kano. They dissolve 5 emirs created since the history of Dampodio. There is Gaya during Dampodio, the Caliphate of Dampodio, and our tradition and religions are working together. So since the colonial masters arrived in northern Nigeria, they discover northern Nigeria with their own religions and our traditional leadership. So they only match because they brought missionaries. Nobody will combat. It's going to be very hard for Muslims to combat into Christianity. This is a real true history. So when he discovers all these things, why is he coming to divide northern Nigeria, especially northwest with southwest? It is talking about the merger between the southwest and northwest. That is where we formed the APC. And APC, that's the reason why Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, even the defense minister, was from northwest. The state defense minister was northwesterner. So we have already concluded to capture the northwest for the next 2027 election by the grace of God. And he is a desperate politician. He wants always to be on top. And the failure of him, he only win Kano. How will you win only Kano to say that you are going to take over Nigeria? You must have 25% in every geopolitical zone. And Konkoso lack that relationship to go and merge with elite. He is not even respecting northerners. All our northern elders, Konkoso is not respecting them. That's just why they refused to attend his wedding. He only invited the controversial, like Senator Abdul Nengi. All PDP members attended his wedding. It is a wedding of political agenda of 2027 to checkmate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the Tinubu game started. They brought like those issues a lot, controversy, claiming accusation, because they are always on the followers in social media. And election is not about social media. It is about the interests of the people that are living there. Because let me give you a good example. Barrow Jibril, a deputy senate president, already insisted and sponsored a bill of Northwest Development Commission, and it starts working in this budget, because tomorrow we are expecting the resumption of the Senate National Assembly. They will start talking about the budget of 2025 by the grace of God, and we wish all this hardship in this budget of the 2025 will come to history, because Asiwaju take his trip now to India. He went for G7 meeting before he traveled to India.
I think.
It is about the economic, because the investor will come to Nigeria. And last week, you have witnessed how Modi, Indian Prime Minister, Modi, came to Nigeria because of the investment. He came with the investors, and India will bring this CNG. We have already negotiated. We go far. they will produce, they will imported the machineries, cars for CNG, because we are no more going to rely on petrol.
All right.
It will
I see that the APC political party and of course the supporters are really working so hard ahead of the 2027 election. Like you already you already get the ground.
That is where
ahead of 2027 election.
Yes, because this budget of the 2025.
You're indeed making a huge preparation.
Let me tell you, this budget of the 2025 will make everything come down, because you cannot implement what you don't have, because where the revenue allocation, look at the issue of the tax.
Well, I would have I think
a tax issue. Now that is where the opposition are fighting to say, let me give you a good example about
it is quite interesting to know that the APC is working so hard to regain power 2027. But I hope and I think that some energy should be channeled into reshaping the economy and stabilizing the economy.
In this budget will be the history of
time doesn't give us time no longer permits us to talk about that, but trust me, I'll bring you back to talk about that. Our time is up and I have to sign out. Thank you very much for watching, and this is where we'll call it a wrap on today's show. Keep watching Kaftan Television. I am Messi Emelite. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and thank you so much, my guest, for being in the studio.
Thank you very much.
Bye, and see you some other time.
Thank you very much.